Welcome to NFL Talking Points, the preview show for Week 9. Unfortunately, our co-host can't be with us due to multiple other reasons, but who cares? You got the two best ones. So, Nick, Jamie, and Adam. So we'll get straight into it through every single preview in Week 9, checking if there's any teams on bye. There are 4 teams on bye. Washington football team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Detroit Lions, thank God for that, and the Seattle Seahawks. So first, we'll head to Indianapolis, where the Colts will be looking to get back to winning ways after their poor loss against the Titans, and the Jets will be looking to carry on their amazing form as they take on, as I said, the Colts. So I'm going to go Colts. Pretty simple. Jets. The Bengals win was a fluke, absolute fluke. Everything was working well for them, and that's it really. And the Colts have just got too many weapons. They won't stop Taylor. Jets won't stop Taylor. I think Carson Wentz is actually very much under the radar. He's actually performing quite well, minus a really shocking interception last week. But a good Colts win. I'm not sure why Colts keep getting put on prime time. The 49ers game, now the Jets game. I mean, who cares? So,
I think it pretty much retains it's a dead rival. But I agree with you about the Indianapolis Colts as well. I think they've just got too many good options. And I think every time the Jets get a win, it creates that little bit of expectation, hope, actually, we can compete now. And then they're going to be utterly useless. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts not only win, but win very convincingly.
Definitely. Moving on to Sunday, all the games are now back to 6 p.m. because the Americans have finally caught up an hour after. The Caesar Superdome, Saints against the Atlanta Falcons. I am back in the New Orleans Saints with Trevor Siemian and maybe Cam Newton. Who knows by end of this week? Plenty of things have happened in the NFL. That's who they've been linked with. So yeah, New Orleans Saints. I think will be quite comfortable. I think if they actually want to be again in the playoffs, I know they're 5-2 now. They really need to be 6-2, beating a team like the Falcons, who just aren't good enough. Minus Kyle Pitts and Russell Gage, of course. So yeah, I've got an easy Saints win. I have. We're not giving scores yet because we're not.
Yeah, we're covering it on a lot of fronts here at NFL Talking Points, but it does seem like we're all on the same page at the moment in terms of who we think is going to win. And like Jamie is saying, the Falcons, as I say, I think they look better than what they actually are because obviously they beat the Jets and Cole Pitt finally showed up like his Florida playing days. But again, Panthers proven a very good defense, can keep him quiet. And then Byron Cordero Patterson, they've literally got nothing, especially with Calvin Ridley out of action for mental health reasons. That Saints defense is going to have a field day against Matt Ryan. And I think I think it'll be another convincing win as well. So yeah, Saints.
Dallas Cowboys, who welcome the Denver Broncos to the AT&T Stadium. Cowboys, I know they're lacking a quarterback, but he's shown that Cooper Rush is good enough. I think that Prescott's going to be back as well anyway for this game. So it should be a formality. The Cowboys should probably win by 20 plus points realistically. Put a proper stamp on there. Broncos, no Von Miller. All they've got is Bradley Chubb for linebacker, who's still decent enough, but he's just not the level.
He can't do it on his own, can he?
Exactly. So Broncos, they're going to be 4-5. Cowboys moving on to 7-1, convincingly as well.
Yeah. I agree with that one. I just think that Dak Prescott is coming back. Yes, although Cooper Rush done very well in the circumstances and proved what an embarrassment Kirk Cousins is on prime time. With Dak Prescott, with them weapons, a weakened Denver defense as well, I think, as I say, it's just going to be a case of by how many Dallas will prove why they are a serious contender. And if they do lose this, then it's a massive blow to them where the other teams around them keep winning.
Battle of the co-host part 2. We have the Carolina Panthers who welcome the New England Patriots to the Bank of America Stadium. Obviously, Carolina Panthers fan, Adam is a New England Patriots fans. 4 years ago, would you believe it already? Graham Gano kicked a winning field goal in a classic. I've also gone for a...
No, don't say score. You can't do it.
Okay, I won't say score, but I do think that the New England Patriots will beat us. I think we had our day 4 years ago. I think Nick Folk is too accurate. I think it's going to be down to a field goal. But I do think New England Patriots will nick it. They've got a better quarterback who's better in the pocket, has more time in the pocket as well. And yeah, I don't think Sam Darnold's good enough. I think our we need to rely on the running game and Matt Judon there, beating up our running game with Carl Van Noy, and you can list endless good defensive players. But I do think Stephon Gilmore will get an interception. I've got a little feeling he will. But we need to run the ball, and against the Patriots defensive line, I don't think we'll be able to. So I've gone for a Patriots win.
I'm actually really stunned you've not backed your own team in the close derby. But yeah, I do back the New England Patriots, because I think this is where you've got to kick on and beat the teams you have to say around you, because the records are identical. And that for me was encouraging, winning in Los Angeles against a team that on paper are better than us, and winning and not playing well. So the fact that New England are doing that is really encouraging. I think Matt Jones, for his performances, added his worst game in Patriots jersey and still went on and won the game. So it shows you that his teammates are still running behind him even when he's not playing well. But he has been good up until this point as well. And I think the New England run game is very key in this one, because, to be honest, I wouldn't back really the R receivers against Stephon Gilmore. I know he's not been training them lately, but really none of them are that good to complete outrunning. So New England got to be very shrewd. And one positive as well is that, as I say, that Nick Folk has been excellent at the kicking game. And it does have that feel, are we finally going to get revenge after 4 years? Which in mentally we think we've won 2 Super Bowls in there. And this is one of the ones I want to win the most. But it's going to be a close game. I don't think either team will win it convincingly. I think because they're just evenly matched. So turnovers could be very key between two good, solid top 10 defenses.
Yeah, if we lose, I'll be happy, because predictions. If we win, I'll be happy. So it's a win-win situation for me.
Oh.
Next, the M&T Bank Stadium, the Baltimore Ravens welcome the Minnesota Vikings. I expect the Ravens, after their bye week, after their loss to the Bengals as well, having a week to go through it, they will pull apart the Minnesota Vikings. Probably going to be a 2-score game. So yeah, easy Baltimore Ravens win. I think to be fair to the Vikings, very good rush defense to stop Ezekiel Elliott only getting 50 yards. That was impressive. But if they can't stop Cooper Rush throwing the ball, Lamar Jackson's proven he can throw it against a better defense than the Colts, so they should easily win this game.
Yeah, I've at the Baltimore Ravens. I think, like I say, they mean business competing top the AFC, and yeah, their performances. Like, I think that the Bengals' performance was a blip, and I think that the bye week served them very well, regroup as well, realising that they should have been a lot more patient with the play calling, where they were trying to score like in the 10-second drive. So against the the Vikings, you know what Vikings are going to turn up. They could easily put on a masterclass. But as I say, it's trusting Kirk Cousins big games as well as their defense. So I'm with you on this one. I think Baltimore win.
So we've agreed every single game so far, yeah?
Yeah.
Next, we'll head to the Paul Brown Stadium. The Cincinnati Bengals welcome the Cleveland Browns. Browns 4-4, Bengals 5-3. Easy win, if I've ever seen one, for the Cincinnati Bengals. Normally these two are fighting for the bottom 2 or the bottom place. This time they're fighting for a potential playoffs, maybe even winning the AFC North. But yeah, Bengals going to go 6-3. They'll be back to their best. Amazingly, I'm saying a convincing win for the Bengals. I just can't believe the Bengals are going to beat a team convincingly, and I'm actually going to back it.
The end is near, but I also agree with you on this one, which is annoying because prediction. I need to claw these back, but it's got to be a correct score job. But yeah, I think that the Bengals, like you say, they're pretty much where we would expect to be at, because beating the Ravens amazing, then losing the Jets, you're like, what? But the Browns, I think, have looked very poor recently as well. Even when they're winning, they've not looked convincingly. Don't trust Baker Mayfield. And yeah, and I think that the Bengals will learn from the Jets one, that this is where you've got to be consistent if you're actually going to make the playoffs. You can't beat the Ravens and think, job done. You've got to then, I think there was so much hype around such a good performance that they really set off against the Jets. But yeah, I think that they'll learn from that. And they are a better team as well, better quarterback, better receivers, you have to say. I know they're not as famous, but certainly better as well. And 2 running backs I'll say are very similar level.
I don't think we need to disagree in this one. The Buffalo Bills travel to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And if the Buffalo Bills don't score 40 or more points against the Jaguars, then they should be banned from competing. I cannot see a game where the Jacksonville Jaguars are close to the Buffalo Bills. If they are, again, like I said, it's a shocking performance from the Bills if they don't go there and turn them over.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Again, there's quite a lot of games where it's actually pretty obvious. There may be one or two that are not, but I think that we would have probably been more respectful to Jacksonville if it weren't for that abysmal performance against Seattle. But you can't go into a much superior team, offensively and defensively. And Urban Meyer's play calling, he's just going to get at least the play calling from like Buffalo all over will be just far too good for them. And it's another one. Then once it's going to be a case of how many. So yeah, Buffalo all day long.
Next, we head to the Hard Rock Stadium. The Miami Dolphins take on the Houston Texans in a game that we don't want to see. Both teams 1-7. It gives this is lovely of the NFL. It gives them a chance to win 2 games this season for both teams. I have backed the home team, the Miami Dolphins. It's going to be a field goal battle, isn't it? Let's be honest. And I just think Dolphins have a better defense. That's it.
Yeah, that you could argue that, but I think this is one I'm actually going to disagree with you with. Everything about Miami is just a disaster at the moment. Tua is just getting worse by the week. As well, there's not much of a run game. I mean, you might get one game in 4 with Myles Gaskin, but he's not really what you call like an elite running back in the NFL. Miami's defense don't look interesting most weeks as well. And I think the Texans have got nothing to lose. And I just think that kind of weird performance at the end of the game against the Rams give them a bit of confidence. They're like, oh, we can score points. And Miami just seems to be making mistakes week in, week out. And yeah, it's going to be one of them that, again, neither fan base care because they're seeing over and their team's a bit of disgrace this season. But I think, to be honest, it'll give the Houston fans a nice day out in Miami. So yeah, Texans win, narrow, like you said.
Lovely. Enjoy the sunshine, Houston.
Enjoy the sunshine, yeah.
Next, we'll go to the New York Giants, recovering from their Monday Night Football loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. They welcome the Las Vegas Raiders, who obviously are going to be without wide receiver Henry Ruggs. More on that, just search on Twitter. I'm still going to back the Raiders to win this game. I think they've still got too many weapons. That's about it. I was very close to giving this to the Giants, actually, but I have to back the Raiders to win this game. I think they are a better team.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that although what's happened for the Raiders, as I say, off-field season, it just seems getting worse and worse. And obviously that beyond all for what we recently heard and as announced in the review show. So a separate clip will be out for that. But yeah, I think that it's like you had the odd weeks of Henry Ruggs where he's absolutely brilliant and pretty much unplayable, to be honest. But Derek Carr, as I say, got plenty of weapons still fit. Got Josh Jacobs, got Kenyon Drake running game as well. And of course, has got Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller. So yeah, I think that the Raiders just too good for the Giants. And it's a shame because the Giants probably don't deserve to be 2-7 after this, but they've been unlucky, and I think they've not got that firepower to push them to a more positive record. So yeah, Raiders will win this one fairly convincingly.
Moving into the late window, we have the Philadelphia Eagles who welcome the LA Chargers to the Lincoln Financial Field. The LA Chargers is looking to bounce back. That's now 2 defeats on the trot for the Chargers, who we expected to do a little bit better against the Patriots, at least turn up a little bit, but apparently not. Eagles coming off their amazing win in Detroit. The Chargers have to win this game if they're a serious playoff team, and I've backed them to win because they need to win this game. They better defense, better offense. They should win this game.
I'm going to have to disagree. And sorry, Brad. I know you're just coming back out of the routines, but you might end up back in it. The performance against New England for the Chargers, from my perspective, was worrying. The fact that they just couldn't get going. Their rush defense is really poor. And yeah, they look like a team that just so out of form at the moment. You think bye week was good for them because perhaps that they could just forget about the Ravens defeat, but it looked like it was bothering them, and then they continued that into the New England game. And Philadelphia are nowhere near as good as the Chargers, as fully agree with you, but they just get wins that they shouldn't, like they did against the Panthers. They're a weird team that no one wants to face because you're like, why are you here? You're irrelevant. And then they just get like random wins. So I can see it being one of them ones. Sorry, Brad.
Next, we will head to 9:25 p.m. A game that normally would be a classic. Green Bay Packers traveling to the Kansas City Chiefs. Arrowhead. We said in the review show, if the Chiefs come up against a proper team who have all their receivers back in the Green Bay, any team with a few good receivers will win. And I've got the Packers to win this one quite comfortably at Arrowhead by at least 2 scores. This could be, as they say, a cricket score. So unlucky to the Chiefs, but I'm back in the Green Bay Packers to go 8-1. Another away win for Green Bay. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah. Just love away days apart from when they travel to Jacksonville. It's bizarre what was happening. But yeah, I don't think it's to be as high scoring perhaps because the Devon Adams still going to be on COVID protocol. But they're getting Aaron Jones going, and the Chiefs are beating poor teams by a whisker. And I just think that the Green Bay defense is playing really well. They kept ultimately Kyler Murray quiet. I know the Cardinals could have won that one easy at the end, but like for Kyler Murray standards, he had, as I say, a really quiet game. So there's brilliant pressure from the defensive ends at the moment, that pass rush. And Patrick Mahomes, it just does not look right. Neither does that Chiefs offense, barring Tyreek Hill. So I agree with you. I think Green Bay are the better team. And this would be a huge statement win if they go to Arrowhead and win, because I think it pretty much kills off Chiefs' playoff hopes. And then it puts the Packers themselves in a really good position to be number 1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, I mean, it worked so well last time for them. We'll head to a big NFC West clash. The Arizona Cardinals take on the San Francisco 49ers, 9:25 p.m. kickoff UK time. We always, whenever a team goes on a big run and they lose a game, it's the character we then look for. Are they a playoff team? Was it a fluke that they lost that game? Or have they been found out, minus AJ Green not looking the right way? Cardinals, 49ers. 49ers, yes, they scored 33 against the Bears, but Cardinals surely have got to win. If they want to win the NFC West, they have to keep winning because the Rams are going to keep doing exactly the same. So these are the games, especially divisional, what they've got to win, and I think they will win. Because if the Colts can go to the 49ers and win, then surely the Cardinals, who are much better than the Colts, can go there, and they should win as well. So I've gone to Arizona to win this game.
Yeah, I have to agree. You try and look at the positives from a San Fran point of view, but it's the Bears that they defeated, and an abysmal Bears it was as well. Whereas the fact is that Jimmy G wouldn't be getting away with these mistakes against proper teams, let alone the Colts. So a proper team's fine is coming to the Levi Stadium. I look at it thinking that the reason Cardinals lost game purely because their receiver just didn't look at the ball, which is bonkers to say that. So yeah, it's one of them where I don't think it's going to be convincing, but I think that it's just a case of the Cardinals will up their game offensively and defensively. They were very good again last week, and they put their team, because remember they got the turnover and downs as well. So they put their offense in the position. It was just one player that let them down. So they should be fine. And 49ers, they're just not as good as them.
2 games left now. We've got the Sunday night football clash, which could have been a classic at the SoFi Stadium, 1:20 a.m. Tennessee Titans travel to the LA Rams. I just feel like without that, the running game of Derrick Henry, having to sign Adrian Peterson or Deontay Freeman, who they've signed today, they're going to have to rely on their passing game, of which when you've got Von Miller, who said he's going to be fit, when you've got Aaron Donald, who will be fit, and many others, you just have to back the LA Rams, I think, to win this game. And I will be backing the LA Rams to beat the Tennessee Titans this weekend.
Yeah, I think that even if Derrick Henry was fit, the Titans probably would have lost it because they're not at the Rams level. But there is always, as I say, like a chance because the Rams can start off quite slowly in these bigger matches. But ultimately, I think that, the pass case is so good. Then that Derrick Henry factor, he can go to huge games and win like he did against the Buffalo Bills who are on the Rams level. But yeah, I think it will be, the Rams should win fairly comfortably. And if they lose this one, then I think they're opening the door for the Cardinals to stay at number 1 spot, aren't they? Yeah,
I think it depends what pressure does to them. Because if let's say the Cardinals win, then the Rams go into the game having to win against the Tennessee Titans. So it could be an interesting one, and could be probably one of the best Sunday night football game prospects we've had for quite a while. That's for sure. We'll move on to Monday Night Football. We go to Heinz Field, Bears, Steelers.
Oh,
This is not the game anybody wants to see or deserves to have on prime time. No UK
wow.
fans will be awake. 1:15 a.m.
You might have them 4 people that are on the table next to us that will
Oh
be
yeah,
awake.
yeah.
Apart from them thinking could they've got a Boswell field goal.
I actually don't know who to give this to. Boswell's injured. He's on concussion protocol, so they've got in Josh
Of course
Lambo.
he was. He does do that passing play. I shouldn't laugh. But
Because he got absolutely battered against the. He got absolutely battered the last game. So I'd be surprised if he was anywhere near the team. I'd take 3 weeks off if I was him. But Bears. I just don't know. I really don't know about either of these teams. To be honest, going into this game,
you got to pick one. It's a tough one.
they're two terrible teams. Bang average teams who shouldn't be near the playoffs. Justin Fields or Big Ben Roethlisberger. What a classic. Who picks this for Monday Night Football goes, yes.
I know. The producers for NFL Network got to have words.
Just what people want to watch. I'm going to have to back Pittsburgh Steelers. They've just signed
really hope you going Bears.
Yeah, they've just signed Josh Lambo to the practice squad after Chris Boswell got battered everywhere he went. Pretending he could be a quarterback for a split second. He regretted it straight away because the Steelers had no one there to catch the ball on that fake field goal. But yeah, they have to be better than the Bears. The Bears aren't great offensively, apart from a little bit of movement, but Steelers are too good defensively to allow the Bears to do anything. So I'm going to back the Steelers by a field goal, I think.
Yeah, I have to go similar. Literally, what I was about to say is it's going to be a low-scoring drab affair, which a lot of these prime times recently seem to be. Well, I can't remember last time we've had a good Sunday or Monday night football, like in terms of standard. But yeah, again, the fixtures are kind to Pittsburgh because the Bears got nothing offensively. The odd Justin Field run doesn't make up for the fact that the passing games are simply not good enough. And that Steelers defense will just be all over him because the Bears O-line's weak. And I think that Big Ben won't have to do much. Just give the ball to Najee Harris because the Bears defense has no answers. I mean, if Jimmy G, who can't move, can get a touchdown, we could have Big Ben falling into the end zone for a score because the Bears defense is doing nothing at the moment with their wonderful -1 points on Fantasy NFL. So I'm fine about that. So yeah, I think the Steelers will win this match pretty comfortably, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's less than 30 points in the whole game.
That's actually a great point. I totally forgot they allowed 2 rushing touchdowns from Jimmy G. So Big Ben should at least get 1. Yeah, just follow us on Twitter. Talk NFL Points. We're on Instagram, NFL Talking Points. Click the link there and you can see all our latest videos and everything else that we offer. Teams are on bye again. I'll give you another shout out. Football team, Buccaneers, Lions, Seahawks. 3 out of 4 won't be missed. So that's nice. Can't say further than that. And we'll be back next week, hopefully with more hosts, and
if we can be bothered to organise it.
Yeah,
and one of us will be, of course, really happy, and the others will be probably joining Brad at the bottom of the Thames.
Yeah, I'll just going to call Brad. I'll see him in the Thames in a week's time.
See him in a room, Uber boat,
Uber boat straight in there. So yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll be back to review all our fantastic predictions and the Panthers win.